Okay, so when you get your Hyperspin drive, one of the first things you're going to want to do is install all the prerequisites for the emulators and systems. Your PC has to be prepared at least a little bit. In the root of your arcade drive is going to be this folder called installer files. And because I have a 64-bit system, I'll double click this one. You get a little dialog telling you basically thanks and to watch out for a computer restart. Now, the DirectX that we're installing here, I recommend doing, even if you've already had DirectX installed with your video card or whatever. This installs all the runtimes from forever and ever and ever ago. Now, it does take a while to get kick-started, mainly because I'm using a low-powered laptop. But we are just going to let it go this time. I may have to skip it, or fast forward rather, in the actual video, but we'll see. We'll see how quickly it goes. Now it looks like it's chugging along a little bit. Some of these aren't going to be required for all of the drives. For instance, if you didn't buy a 5 terabyte and you only got a 1 terabyte, you're probably not going to need to install BlueStacks because that's for Android. And if you don't plan on using a 360 controller, you don't have to install the 360 tool. Even if you cancel out of one of these installations, it will still do what you need it to do. Because all it does is looks for the trigger of when that program exits to start the next one. It's pretty awesome if you ask me. Also, this installer can be downloaded from my website from the link in the description. Okay, that one's finished. So when one finishes, the next one should start. Theoretically speaking, stupid, slow laptop hard drives. They take forever. There we go. Yeah, if you don't do all this, you'll run into way more strange errors than you would care to. I can tell you that much for sure. Having dealt with Hyperspin for about 2 years now, I can tell you from experience that you'll get all sorts of crazy errors, and the less you get, the better you will feel. That's for certain. I'm just gonna say repair, which is fine, just in case. I think it's because it takes so long to install. Then again, I'm no software guru. And again, with a wonderful little bit of a wait, but it's definitely worth it in the end. Fraps is probably choking it up quite a bit too, because it's having to write all this stuff to the disk at the same time as me recording it. Okay. And when it's saying repair, it's quite possible that this laptop came pre-installed with C++ 2008. That's why I always just click repair, because you never know what your computer came pre-installed with. HP has all their... Yeah, to complicate matters, I'm probably in now too. Oh, we'll just keep going. mainly because you really only get one shot at making a video that compiles all the way through. And all of my big systems already have this stuff installed, and I'm not going to uninstall it one by one just to show the complete process. It's kind of a pain. Now you could download all of these individually and install them one by one, but this tool is being provided freely to the public to take care of it for you and make sure you get it all. That's one of the problems actually with advertising as plug and play. Well, to a certain degree, that's true. Everything that needs to be on the drive is on the drive. But if your computer doesn't have all the stuff installed already, then you're still going to have trouble. Especially the DirectX. Anything 3D9, DLL, or something like that, that is going to be a DirectX or DX 3D9, stuff like that. DirectX errors. Quite common when launching an emulator. Should play some Jeopardy music or something. See how much space I'm taking here. Oh, probably a ton. Probably made 15 different. I always say restart later on that one. The XNA framework may or may not be required for your system. I always say go ahead and install it. They really don't take up much space at all. Usually just a couple of megabytes. If you want to get rid of those yes, no messages, you can also turn off user access control. And this little message, invalid number of parameters, is actually referencing a file copy operation that's required for, I believe it's the Sega Saturn emulator. You'll know when you go to launch it. It'll say that it doesn't have a configuration file, and you need to create one yourself. Or in this case, copy it to the correct place. I'll address that in another video. Here's the BlueStacks that I was talking about, BlueStacks installer. Now I am going to skip this one because I really don't need it, and that is one that will actually run every time you start your computer. This is fine. I'm just going to install it. Not a big deal. I'll probably have a little tutorial just on the Xbox controller. And again, when you're dealing with Hyperspin, no drive is 100% plug and play, simply because it takes too much time. There's too many preferences. You can get very close very quick though. That's for certain. There should be only one more thing to install here. if I remember correctly. Yeah, see if you had UAC off. Oh no, there's two. Daemon tools. Daemon tools is absolutely necessary. Now when you choose this free license, make sure you uncheck the boxes. Otherwise you'll end up with probably 5 extra icons by the time you're done. Let's go to custom install, uncheck those guys. Custom install, uncheck. Because everything that you get for free usually comes with other stuff unless you tell it not to install the other stuff. And after Daemon Tools, I know there's one more. I think it's part of the Visual Studio redistributable. I don't know exactly which systems depend on it, so I always install it just to be safe. If my desktop microphone was audible, trust me, I'd be using my desktop for this, because my desktop is pretty powerful and this laptop is not. I always skip this installation because it'll put this thing up in the corner unchecked, so you don't run it right now. Close that. All it's going to do is take you to a website that says, thank you for installing Daemon Tools. Come on, last one. That's it. That's the last one right there. After this installation is complete, you'll be able to restart your computer and you'll have all of your requirements installed for your Hyperspin drive. And from there, it'll mostly be preferences, except for that one file I mentioned that needs copied. And actually, if you bought the whole arcade setup, like a drive and a controller, it will be actually pre-configured for all of the systems. All the buttons will be mapped to the controller, mainly because I like the arcade sticks that I have made better than a Xbox 360. Although the 360 does allow you to play a few more games than what you can play with the arcade stick. Alright, well, you don't have to watch the video any more than this if you don't want to, because like I said, it's the last piece that's getting installed. Check the description for the download link. It's about 0.5 gigabyte. It's a RAR file. If you are fiddling with Hyperspin, you know what a RAR file is anyways, most likely, and how to deal with it. Okay, and there we go, finally. What we were looking for. Thank you for being so patient during this install. Please reboot. And that is the trigger for the end of the video, and I will reboot my machine.